thank you for joining us on this edition of Citizen Live at 1. I'm Janet Mbogo, who will continue and begin with updates on the Impeccato Town attack. And President Uhuru Kenyatta is leading a high-powered government security team to Impeccato Town, the scene of the last night's terror attack. State House sources say the president is expected in the town later this afternoon as the death toll from the attack climbed to 53. Our reporter Michael Njenga is currently at Impeccato Town, where he now joins us on phone. Michael, thank you so much for talking to us this afternoon. The death toll now at 53. What else can you tell us about what's happening on the ground at the moment?
A very good afternoon to Janet Mbogo. Indeed, we are in Impeccato Town, and Janet, the scene here is one horrific scene, dear Janet. It's, as you can see, people here are so quiet. Nobody's talking to the other as they try to comprehend what just happened last night, where 53 people have been killed. Janet, I'm telling you, we were at the mortuary and we have counted 53 people who were killed last night. Well, we've been talking to several people here, among them the senior chief, Isaac Limpoy. And Isaac tells us that yesterday at about 8:30, when people were watching the World Cup, about 40 people, heavily armed 40 people, came into the town and started opening fire sporadically to anyone and everybody who was seated around. He tells us that they went on to each and every hotel around here, picking people, hand-picking people. And he tells us no woman was killed last night because the people who are doing that say that their religion does not allow them to kill women. So all the people, all the 53 who are dead are men. And they would even go into houses and pick people from houses. The first place that they got into, Janet, was the DO's office. Janet, if you can hear me, the first place they started was the DO's office. All the cars at the DO's office have been banned. We're told we are not very sure about it, but some of the people here are telling us that the cars, they hurled grenades into this area. We were told from there they moved on to other places within the place, making sure that they get anybody and everyone they could get, and those were all men. So right now the president is expected to land here to talk to the people. He's expected to land here with a delegation of a heavy security delegation to come and talk to the people and try to understand really what happened yesterday, Janet. Okay.
Michael, many thanks. And I know you earlier told me no official word yet from the police. Is that correct?
But yes. And no suspect. Nobody has been arrested. That's the sad part. No one was shot down. None of those gunmen were arrested. Because, as you know, this area of Impeccato Town, the police base does not have a very huge, personnel. So all they did, I was speaking to one of the policemen who was there last night. He's telling me all they did was to hold ground. They were just trying to hold defense to make those people, to make them not get into the police station. Mm-hmm. But they did not have equipment enough. They did not have enough personnel to get out and, try and fight with the attackers. So none of the attackers have been arrested. It was a scene that happened for about, it's something that went on for about 5 hours, because they're telling us that they started about 8:30 p.m. and they were ending the whole massacre, if you may, at about 1:30 in the morning, Janet.
All right, finally, Michael, before I let you go, I know that there was indications that KDF were also set to be deployed on the scene. Do you have any news on that?
I'm on ground, Janet, and right now there is no sight of Kenya Defense Forces. We have a lot of GSU officers, very, very many GSU officers. We also have very, very many administration police officers. There's rapid deployment unit officers who are taking charge around here. But so far we've not seen any Kenya Defense Forces officers in the area. We've not seen any of them. And Janet, again, there are no casualties. In fact, there are only 2 casualties actually. One woman who was trying to jump from a rooftop, And the gentleman who did not, who was shot but he did not die, we're told that he still has a bullet lodged in his stomach. Those are the only two, but the gunmen made sure that wherever they went, they made sure that they killed and moved on.
All right. Thank you for that update. Michael Njenga talking to us there from Impeccato Town. A recap of what he's told us. As has been reported earlier on, the attacks began at about 8:30 p.m. last night. 40 heavily armed men started opening fire. They went on to each hotel around the vicinity of that particular bar, and they handpicked people, men in particular. This was an attack on the men. The door-to-door shootings as well that we reported earlier, where the men were also being attacked. He's talked about the casualties. One woman who tried to jump from a roof and a man who was shot but hasn't died. But perhaps the most important update from that is that the death toll has now gone up from 48 to 53 as of now. We'll continue to update you if that goes up at all. Let's take a look at what some of you are saying on social media. Let's take a look at the tweets that have been coming in. People sending out their heartfelt condolences to the residents of Impeccato. At Billy Zil Peli says, "We have no business being in Somalia. We should secure our borders from within Kenya." And then we have at Leanne Kuhora, who says, "This insecurity issue should be taken seriously. Many innocent Kenyans are dying every day," using the hashtag Impeccato attack. Diary DM, I believe that's how you say it. "Let us unite, pray, and pass the necessary information to the authorities." Then we have at Galashli saying, Gal Ashley rather, saying, "The enemy is within our country. When there is no enemy within, the enemies outside cannot hurt." Impeccato attack. At Jimmy254, "Terror cannot be fought by the government alone, and blaming it is losing the focus. It's 100% all of us." And a few more here. At Nick Tirop says, of the Impeccato attack, "Matters of national security should never be politicized." I believe that's the last one that we have so far. A lot of you continue to talk to us using the hashtag Impeccato attack or SMS us on 22422. And then we had many eyewitnesses who witnessed this horror last night. Here's a look at what one of them had to say.
Tusikia shootings mwendo wa saa 3 kasorobo hivi baada ya game ya Switzerland kuisha, ambapo tulikuwa tunasubiri watch news. So shootings zilianza upande wa chini huko wa petrol station, and then zika spread all over the town, kila kona. So hapa walifika wakakuta watu wanatoroka. Babangu akatorokea huko juu ya gorofa, and then wakaja wakarusha propel grenade moja hapa ikachoma hii upande wa chini wa hotel, ile nyingine wakarusha upande wa lodgings, and then wakamfuata baba yetu huko juu akiwa na waka mwingine, wakawalaza chini wakawapiga risasi. So tulipokuwa tunamjaribu kwa simu akawa hapatikani. Simu inaita lakini haichukuliwi. So tukapiga na wasiwasi. Alfajiri mapema saa 11 tukarauka kuja kumtafuta. Tulipopanda juu ya gorofa kule top roof ndio tukamkuta ameuawa pamoja na mfanyakazi wake mmoja. So at the moment tumemhifadhi pale mochari, lakini kwa kuwa mochari nayo si mzuri, tunahitaji kumuondosha tumpeleke Malindi Star Hospital kwa mochari tukisubiri kutayarisha mazishi.
And sad to say, but we'll hear many more of such witness accounts of those who saw the scope of what happened last night in Impeccato Town. The eyewitness there saying that a loved one lost his life as well, and that they're preparing then for his burial. So that's what we have so far. The death toll now at 53. We still know that GSU and the police, heavy security on the ground. The president, Uhuru Kenyatta, is expected to be there as well. Hopefully he'll be able to speak to Kenyans and give us their update as well. And the Red Cross have been on the ground helping out in the operation with psychosocial support as well as rescue. Here's a listen to what they're saying about the situation on the ground.
To see, the effects from the area of around Kibaone, where we actually, the first thing we saw were bodies lying along the road, and properties destroyed. You would occasionally see a motorcycle that probably was being used by the deceased, and they were unfortunately hacked and left there.
But the bandits were not only out to kill, but also to destroy. Business premises have been burnt down, including Breezeview Guest House, Winners Lodge and Equity Bank, as well as other private business premises that were razed to the ground. In one of the video cafes, 9 people were gunned down while watching last night's World Cup matches.
Quite a number of families have been traumatized, and what we have just established now is also a psychosocial support exercise to assist these families come to terms with this situation.
By daybreak, bodies lay strewn all over the town as those who survived the attack emerged from their hideouts. Impeccato is about 30 kilometers from Lamu Island and is one of the largest towns linking the Shela and Manda Islands to the mainland. Esther Kahumbi, Citizen Live at 1.
All right, Esther Kahumbi giving us details there of the event that took place, and then we had a Red Cross official talking about what they saw upon arriving on the ground, bodies strewn all over the place, and the fact that they are offering psychosocial support to the many traumatized people who witnessed this horror. A lot of women and children, no doubt, traumatized. The men turned out to be the victims, many of whom died in that attack. We'll continue to bring you updates of the Impeccato attack as and when we get them. No doubt those updates will be coming into our newsroom. But for now, let's take you to other stories that we're following for you on Citizen TV. The trial of Deputy President William Ruto and journalist Joshua Sang has resumed at The Hague, with the prosecution stating that it will be able to present all the 4 witnesses it had lined up for this session, expected to end on the 16th of July. The International Criminal Court had to prematurely adjourn the last session on the 2nd day of trial after the prosecution encountered a witness crisis. Here's a peek into the proceedings this morning.
Mr. Steinberg, where are we in terms of the witnesses?
Your Honours, we have lined up 4 witnesses for this session. The first witness is available to start this morning. We estimate that this witness will take no more than 2 days. The following witness may commence then on Wednesday. The witness is already in The Hague and I imagine could commence earlier than that if necessary. There is a witness we have arranged to commence the following Wednesday. I do anticipate that the witness commencing this Wednesday will take approximately 1 week. We expect that there will be a gap following the 3rd witness, however, as the last witness for the session has experienced certain health difficulties which will prevent him from travelling before approximately the 4th or 5th of July. However, I do expect that his evidence will be comfortably dated in the remaining time of the session.
Why, did you say that the second witness in order you anticipate starting the witness on Wednesday?
On the 19th, yes, Wednesday, this Wednesday.
But that the witness is already in The Hague and can start sooner than that, you say?
Subject to whatever process the VW have with the witness, yes, we are certainly finished from the prosecution side already last week.
We discussed with the prosecution previously regarding the scheduling, and we had been informed that the next witness will start on Wednesday, the 18th. Your Honour, in relation to the following week, I would ask that the schedule that the witness start on the 25th not be varied to start earlier because of other commitments of counsel that are involved in the case. So, Your Honour, that's I think witness 405, and I'd ask that that witness start on Wednesday morning and not before Wednesday morning.
Internally displaced persons have lashed out at the Coalition for Reforms and Democracy leader Raila Odinga for allegedly inciting Kenyans against the government. The IDPs say the country was yet to heal from wounds inflicted during the 2008 post-election violence. Speaking at Kanan Shalom IDP camp in Laikipia County, the IDPs led by their national chairman Peter Kariuki told court to stop threats against the government and instead preach peace.
We still have IDPs in this country. They are suffering. They are languishing in the camps. Bado wanaendelea kuteseka. Many are dying in the camps. We don't want kuona IDPs wengine katika nchi yetu.
5 governors have hit out at National Treasury Cabinet Secretary Henry Rotich for allegedly giving county governments a raw deal in his budgetary allocations. The governors, who included Bomet Governor Isaac Ruto, the governors faulted the national government for not giving county governments adequate funds for development. They were speaking in Kembu, Bomet County, during the memorial of former cabinet minister Kipkalia Connors.
We must have peace. Lazima tukue na amani. Watu wakisema Uhuru must go, we are seeing some danger. Kwani Uhuru anaenda wapi? Through what means?
Neno ya devolution, sisi tumesema we've got no apologies to make in this country. Devolution must be implemented. Na tunasema kama Rotich anasema 43% ya 1.8 trillion ndio pesa ameleta county, hiyo kama serikali za county tunasema hiyo ni matusi, ametutusi.
Devolution is here to stay. That one is done. Hakuna mtu atarudisha sisi nyuma. The only thing we would like to tell our excellencies is guard it jealously. Please guard it jealously, because you are what lawyers call the Mwanamberes, the people who are the first.
Why do we seem to be apologetic? Why are we appearing like we are begging anybody for devolution? Devolution is embedded in the Constitution. It is written in black and white in the Constitution. It cannot be changed. It must be covered.
Sisi tunataka kuongea. Me, I support dialogue of all the leaders in this republic. And when we say dialogue, we want to talk about Kamukta in Isaiah, the Luj. Kwa nini tunakataa kuongea? Mimi nataka viongozi wote wakae.
Ile kitu sisi tunataka tukae chini, kwa sababu hii ni nchi yetu. Sisi wote tukae chini, tuseme tuna makosa hapa, tuna shida hapa, na tunaweza kufanya haya mambo namna gani ndio tuendelee mbele kama nchi. Hiyo tu.
The National Authority for Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse, NACADA chairman John Mutudho, now says that nearly half of the spirits in the market do not meet the set standards. A preliminary report by the authority shows that some of the drinks have been laced with cocaine, heroin and herbicides.
A preliminary report by the National Authority for Campaign Against Alcohol and Drug Abuse reportedly shows the presence of a poisonous herbicide in liquor sampled.
The preliminary results are rather shocking, that we have such products like herbicides, cocaine, heroin, heavy metals. We have some very weird products found, organic and inorganic. Heavy metals of all types have been found in alcoholic drinks. These include some of the imported drinks.
The liquor samples are to be taken for further tests.
Because of the consistency and the measure is the same throughout, shows that like somebody is using that as an active ingredient. If it was accidental, then you would have varying outcomes. But this time is consistent. So that means that there is somebody either using that one as an ingredient. I don't know for what gain. But what I'm informed by the medics and specialists that most of the ingredients we have found out will cause cancer straight away.
Mutu, though, had last month directed all county commissioners and police to close all bars and nightclubs that are operating in residential areas without licenses. Salim Bilu, Citizen, live at 1.
We apologize for a previous story where we referred to the governor of Kakamega as an MP. We apologize for that mistake over there. Stay with Citizen Live at 1. We'll continue to bring you updates of the Impeccato attack. We understand at this moment that the Lamu governor, Issa Timami, has arrived at the scene of the attack. We'll bring you more updates as and when we get them. Stay with us.